There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road is where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When you adventure, life's just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel life, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. There we go. Hello everyone. Welcome to the quiz. Hope you're all okay this Sunday. Yeah, snappy shirts. We've got a good quiz for you today. Testing in parts, but you'll all be fine. You'll all be fine. I thought I'd sport this sort of little strange, weird tash, comedy tash, I call it. Faye told me to have a shave, so I shaved everything off but the comedy tash. It was either this or the Hitler moustache, so I kind of felt that this might be the best option. Hello, Catalina.
Hello, lovely.
Hello, sailor. Good. Okay, let me get my files up ready. So let's have a quick recce who's checked in. We've got John and Joe, Tom and Barbara, Nikki and Ramon. Who else is here?
Flav.
Vicky and Steve, Flav and Joe, Paul and Dawn. It's John and Lisa. How you doing, John? Good. Excellent. Right. It's just gone past 7, so I reckon we can get started. I'll do 4 rounds and then we'll mark them. So all you need is a pen and paper. Gibbo. Hello, Gibbo and Nessa. Don't put the answers in the comments, or I'll switch the comments off. So pen and paper, and we'll get going. So the first question, it's in the news. Question 1. James Drury died this week, aged 85. Which long-running Western TV series did he appear in? James Drury died this week, aged 85. Which long-running Western TV series did he appear in? Hi, Jane. Hello, neighbours. Question 2. Hang on, someone's skateboarding past the house. Question 2. Which London hospital did Boris Johnson get admitted to this week? Which London hospital did Boris Johnson get admitted to this week? Hello, Lamo. Get your pen and paper. I'll read out question 1 and 2 very quickly for you. Question 1, James Drury died this week, aged 85. Which long-running Western TV series did he appear in? And question 2, which London hospital did Boris Johnson get admitted to this week?
Question 3. Following a number of COVID-19 deaths of drivers, what will London buses be trialling? Following a number of COVID-19 related deaths of drivers, what will London buses now be trialling? Question 4. Which US TV host has been criticised for comparing quarantine in her multi-million-pound mansion to being in jail? Which US TV host has been criticised for comparing quarantine in her multi-million-pound mansion to being in jail? And last question of In the News, question 5. Which senator ended his presidential campaign this week, paving the way for Joe Biden to be the Democratic Party nominee? Hello, Trish. Hello, Andy. Question 5. Which senator ended his presidential campaign this week, paving the way for Joe Biden to be the Democratic Party nominee? Okay, round 2 is an audio round, and I've got one. It's a kids' TV across the ages. So you've got kids' TV from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. So there'll be some familiar tunes in there. Question 1 is the following. There you go. If you can't get that one, obviously you chose the wrong one. I think you can get that one. Super musician, he's a clever fellow, I'm sure to make you smile. Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy, is his magic spell. What will happen? I think that was really the one I wanted to do, but there you go. Oh, it was that one. See, I picked the wrong one. This is what I should have played you. Anyway, you both got a gimme there. You all got a gimme. So the one from the 60s. Hopefully I can pick the right one this time. Right, 60s. There you go, that's your one from the 60s. From the 1970s, as follows. too. Don't worry, Layla, you get the one in the 90s.
Just say hi, Taryn.
Hello, Taryn. Hello, Kirsty. How are you? Right, we're up to the 80s. Question 4.
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. A man is born, he's a man of me. There's no song from two. They got nothing but the team.
Was that number? You want number 2 again? What of the music, of the TV themes? Okay.
And then the previous round for Trish after.
Okay, and then finally, the 1990s one. This is up to you, Layla. There you go. One more time on number 2 of this round. Yeah. Layla. No, Layla. Yeah, see. Something for everyone. Right, there you go. That's that one. Just quickly so people can catch up. The 1 and 2, Andy, Trish, you missed in the news. Number 1 was James Drury died this week, aged 85. Which long-running Western TV series did he appear in? And question 2 was, which London hospital did Boris Johnson get admitted to this week? Okay, so round number 3 is called, I've called it, something for the younger crowd. Question 1, are you ready, Emilio? Yeah, this could be your chance at glory. So question 1, Crackshot is the most popular character skin in which online game? Crackshot is the most popular character skin in which online game? Question 2, SMH, so Sierra Mike Hotel, SMH is young person's shortened text speak for what? What is SMH shortened for when texting? Question 3, I reckon Ralph might get this if he's around. Which cartoon series features Finn and his dog Jake? Which cartoon series features Finn and his dog Jake? Question 4, in which of the latest Pixar animation films is the featured song You've Got a Friend in Me? You've Got a Friend in Me. In which of the latest Pixar animation films is the featured song You've Got a Friend in Me? And just in case you are playing Jawed, you might get this one. Question 5, what specific long-awaited product from Sony is scheduled for release in November-December time? What specific long-awaited product from Sony is scheduled for release in November-December time? Well done, Lucio. Right, we do round 4 and then we'll mark those, do the answers, so you can see where you are. Round 4 is potluck. It's a bit more tricky in certain places. Question 1, originating from French, what is the name of the common device that changes your gears on a mountain bike? Originating from French, what is the name of the common device that changes your gears on a mountain bike? Marcus. Question 2, who took the official photographs of the wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana in 1981? Who took the official photographs of the wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer in 1981? Question 3, an American liner gained the blue ribbon of the Atlantic for the fastest crossing in 1952. She travelled at an average speed of 35.59 knots. What was her name? An American liner gained the blue ribbon of the Atlantic for the fastest crossing in 1952. What was her name? You need to get that one, John, don't you? Question 4, another nautical question. Which cross-channel car ferry capsized in 1987 after leaving Zeebrugge Harbour? Which cross-channel car ferry capsized in 1987 after leaving Zeebrugge Harbour? I'll see what I can do for you, Nicky. Might be a couple more in there later. Next question is Norse mythology. I'm sure you're all very good at Norse mythology. Question 5. What is the name of Odin's wife? What is the name of Odin's wife? I reckon if my friend Arnstein is on, he might get that one. Well, it's a shame if he doesn't. Right, if everyone's done, let's mark those, and you can see where we are. So, at maximum of 20 points you could have scored so far. Let's see how everyone's doing. See if anyone's made it into double figures. So, in the news, question 1: James Drury died this week, aged 85. The long-running western that he appeared in was The Virginian. The Virginian. Question 2, which London hospital did Boris Johnson get admitted to this week? That was St Thomas's. London buses will be trialling middle door only boarding. Middle door only boarding. So if you get something like that as your answer, then you're fine. The US host that was criticised for comparing quarantine in her multi-million-pound mansion to being in jail, that was Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres. And the senator who ended his presidential campaign this week, Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders. The audio questions, the answers were as follows. The 1950s one, well, everyone's got that because I played the wrong one to start with, and it was sooty. 1960s one, number 2 was Lassie. The 1970s one was Animal Magic. The 1980s was Different Strokes, and the 1990s was Pingu. Pingu. Glad to hear it, David. There's something for the younger crowd. Question 1, Crackshot is the most popular character skin in the game Fortnite. SMH is young person short and text speak, apparently for shaking my head. SMH. The cartoon series featuring Finn and his dog Jake, that's Adventure Time. The latest Pixar animation film that features the song You've Got a Friend in Me, that's Toy Story 4. I think if you just put Toy Story, we won't you know, you can get your points. And number 5, the specific long-awaited product from Sony, scheduled for release in November, December, that's PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5. The answers to Potluck. Originating from French, what is the name for the common device that changes your gears on a mountain bike? Not sure of my pronunciation, but derailleur, something like that. Derailleur, maybe. Yes. Oh, wow. You cheating, Catalina? You can't have Google on your side. It's not allowed. It was the photographer for the wedding of Charles and Diana. That was Patrick Litchfield. The American liner that has had the fastest crossing in 1952. That was the SS United States. The cross-channel car ferry that capsized in 87. That was the Herald of Free Enterprise. And the name of Odin's wife, she's called Frigg. Frigg. Not Frigg, but just Frigg. So anyone dare to share their scores out of 20? Let's see where we are. Meant to be tricky, though. It's meant to be 5 out of 5, but how much out of 20, Nikki? 5 out of 20? Yeah, just aced it in one round. See, that's decent, isn't it? Anyone beat 13? Oh, that's all pretty decent. That's not bad. Excellent.
11 with Taryn.
Yeah. Decent.
Arnstein, working nice. We've got guests.
Ah.
Sorry, I missed most of the questions.
Who missed the questions?
Arnstein.
Did he?
But it might be above them. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first 4 rounds. Round 5, we'll do it into 4 separate ones. So at the moment, that's the first one. So it's pretty good because I think the most I saw there was 13. Yeah, so two 13s. Fantastic, very good scoring. Right, the next round, get your pens and papers ready, is food and drink. Question 1, what is the alcohol in a pina colada? What is the alcohol in a pina colada? Wait for it, Joe. I've done better. I've done better than nuts and bolts through the ages. Well done, Audrey. Right, question 2. If Audrey gets this one as well, then I suggest you sit her down and have a conversation with her. Question 2, what would you call a beer cocktail made from Guinness and champagne? I couldn't see what you're drinking, John. It doesn't show us here, but probably a pina colada, I reckon. Yeah, it's back now. Sorry, I keep clicking on the mute. Right, question 3. 1/4 of all the hops in the world are grown in which country? 1/4 of all the hops in the world are grown in which country? 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2 of the food and drink. Question 1 was, what is the alcohol in a pina colada? Yeah, good. Okay, this is the one we're on. And number 2 was, what would you call a beer cocktail made from Guinness and champagne? Right, we're on to, yeah, it's kind of one food question out of the food and drink, so more drink. Question 4, what is the name given to the dish of fruit stewed or preserved syrup? What is the name given to the dish of fruit stewed or preserved in syrup? Start that again. What is the name given to the dish of fruit stewed or preserved in syrup? Another one for Audrey coming up. Question 5, what is the name of the Scandinavian alcoholic drink made from potatoes? What is the name of the Scandinavian alcoholic drink made from potatoes? Okay, that's your food and drink. And we're moving on to the next round, Joe, which is military history. Military history. Question 1, Operation Ike, I think that's how you pronounce it, E-I-C-H-E, Ike, was a mission by German commandos in 1943 to pull off the daring rescue of whom? Operation Ike was a mission by German commandos in 1943 to pull off the daring rescue of whom? Question 2, in which war were the battles of Yorktown and Bunker Hill? In which war were the battles of Yorktown and Bunker Hill? Question 3, a tricky one, I think. During the Falkland Islands War, what was the nearest British airfield to the Falklands? During the Falkland Islands War, what was the nearest British airfield to the Falklands? Joe, you've probably been there, I'm sure. Question 4, who commanded the American-led forces that defeated Iraq in the 1991 Gulf War? Who commanded the American-led forces that defeated Iraq in the 1991 Gulf War? And number 5, for many of you, I think you'll be pleased, this is the last one. When Army pay books were first issued in 1815, a name was filled in to show the soldiers how the book should be signed. This resulted in a nickname being given to British troops. What was the name used? So the full name. So what was the name that was used on that form? When Army pay books were first issued in 1815, a name was filled in to show the soldiers how the book should be signed. This resulted in a nickname given to British troops. What was the name used? The full name. You have a half a point if you just get the first name, full point if you get. Right, the next round is film. Question 1, how old was Regan McNeil when she was possessed in The Exorcist? You can all have a guess at that. How old was Regan McNeil when she was possessed in The Exorcist? Question 2, which British studios were famous for their horror movies? Which British studios were famous for their horror movies? Question 3, John the Cat Roby was the debonair central character in which popular 1955 film? John the Cat Roby was the debonair central character in which popular 1955 film? Question 4, which famous 1963 horror film takes place in the sleepy little coastal town Bodega Bay? Which famous 1963 horror film takes place in the sleepy little coastal town Bodega Bay? And question 5, which film won the best film at the 2020 Oscars? Which film won the best film at the 2020 Oscars? Right, the next round is sport. Question 1, which golfer is known as the Walrus? Which golfer is known as the Walrus? If he's still playing golf, he's probably on the senior tour now, I'd say. Right, question 2. If you can get within 2 years either side, then you can have your points. John Schneider, you have to get exactly the right date, okay? You can't have two years either side. Super Bowl I saw the Green Bay Packers beating Kansas City Chiefs 35-10. In what year was it played? Super Bowl 1 saw the Green Bay Packers beating the Kansas City Chiefs 35-10. In what year was it played? Question 3, which Premier League football team play their games at the Vitality Stadium? I can Taron will do that with his eyes closed, no problem. Which Premier League football team play at the Vitality Stadium? Question 4, which jump jockey has just been crowned champion in the UK? Which jump jockey has just been crowned champion in the UK? Tricky one for most of you, but not for Gibbo. Gibbo's probably punching the air at the moment. He's running around the front room. Is that low calorie, Nikki? And question 5, the last Olympics to be held in the US were held in which city? The last Olympics to be held in the US were held in which city? Okay, right. So that's another 4 rounds. So let's mark them. Let's do the answers for that, and then we can see. So that again, that's 20 questions for the possible score. The food and drink questions. The alcohol in pina colada, number 1 is rum. The beer cocktail made from Guinness and champagne is called a black velvet. A quarter of all the hops in the world are grown in Germany, in the Hollertau region of Bayern, in Bavaria, apparently. Number 4, the dish of fruit stewed or preserved in syrup, that's compote, a compote. And number 5, the Scandinavian alcoholic drink made from potatoes is aquavit. So point for each. Military history. Operation Ike was a mission by German commandos in 1943 to pull off the daring rescue of Mussolini. Yorktown and Bunker Hill were battles in the American War of Independence. During the Falkland Islands, the nearest British airfield to the Falklands was the Ascension Islands. The person that led the forces, the American-led forces, that was Norman Schwarzkopf. And when Army pay books were first issued, the name that was at the top was Tommy Atkins, as in how we got the name of Tommy's. So Tommy Atkins, you can have a half for Tommy, and if you've got Tommy Atkins, you get your full point. Right, film. Regan McNeil, when she was possessed in The Exorcist, she was 12. The British studios made famous for their horror movies, that's Hammer. John the Cat Roby was the debonair central character in To Catch a Thief, played by Cary Grant. The famous 1963 horror film that takes place in sleepy little coastal town Bodega Bay, that's The Birds. And the film that won the best film at the 2020 Oscars, Parasite. Right, sport. The golfer known as the Walrus, Craig Stadler. Super Bowl I saw the Green Bay Packers beating Kansas City Chiefs. That was played in 1967. So if you've got within 2 years, either way, you can have your point. John's going to get exactly 1967. The Premier League football team that play at Vitality Stadium, that's Bournemouth. The jump jockey has just been crowned champion, Brian Hughes. And the last Olympics to be held in the US, they were held in 1996 and they were held in Atlanta. So how are we doing out of that block of 20 questions? 15, pretty good, Trish. Anyone beat 15? 17 and a half? Wow. Yeah, good scores. Good. Okay. So we've got 4 rounds to go. This round is called Bit of This, Bit of That, and it was made up of ones that people wanted me to ask. So here you go. Question 1, which musical does the song Big Spender come from? Which musical does the song Big Spender come from? Question 2, can you name the actress who sang Moon River in the film Breakfast at Tiffany's? Can you name the actress who sang Moon River in the film Breakfast at Tiffany's? Right, Thomas, Barbara's gone to sleep. Give her a nudge now. So moment to start. Question 3. What is the smallest breed of pony that was developed in Argentina from Shetland pony stock? What is the smallest breed of pony that was developed in Argentina from Shetland pony stock? Question 4. How many bones are there in a horse's hoof? How many bones are there in a horse's hoof? And question 5, Route 66 starts, so Route 66 finishes in Santa Monica, California, but where does it start? Route 66 finishes in Santa Monica, California, but where does it start? Right, the next round is geography, countries and cities that changed their name. Question 1. The Dutch East Indies became what country back in the 1940s? The Dutch East Indies became what country back in the 1940s? Question 2. In 1964, Northern Rhodesia became which country? In 1964, Northern Rhodesia became which modern day country? Question 3. What was Mumbai called prior to 1995? What was Mumbai called prior to 1995? Number 4, British Honduras renamed to what in 1973? British Honduras renamed to what in 1973? Question 5, this country became Taiwan in 1958. What was it previously called? This country became Taiwan in 1958. What was it previously called? David, question 5 last round was Route 66 finishes in Santa Monica, California, but where does it start? Right, 2 more rounds to go. Advertising slogans is the next round. Question 1. One of my favorite advertising slogans is from the US, and it is, "You can't fist fight tyranny." Which association was it promoting? You can't fist fight tyranny. Which association was it promoting? Number 2, which food outlet uses the slogan, "Eat fresh"? Which food outlet uses the slogan, "Eat fresh"? Question 3, which sporting brand's slogan is "Forever Faster"? Which sporting brand slogan is "Forever Faster"? Come on, Flavia, come on. Question 4, which company's slogan was "Don't leave home without it," or was, yes, so it may not be the current one, but which company's slogan was "Don't leave home without it"? And number 5, which company's slogan is "Voorsprong durch Techniek"? Voorsprong durch Techniek. Which company's slogan? Okay, the last round is the voices of famous people. So I'll play you the clip and you just need to say the name of the famous person. So there's 10 of these, so point for each. Coming up, number 1.
Well, I don't know about that as much anymore, but certainly, I've been involved 32 years in Scientology, and it's given me all the tools to survive in life that I need, and it helped so many people. And we are we're all over the world, and we go out of our way to help people.
Well, that was number 1. Number 2.
Yes, I always had one, and I cultivated the friendship of very big people. I got very well in with the captain of the school football team, and
Number 3.
Not really. I mean, I like to drink. I like a drink.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not a big fan of drugs.
No.
They just don't suit me. I don't. It's, you know, in the handful of times that I've tried drugs, many years ago.
Number 4.
Yeah, I'm talking about there is actually a dialogue going on about slavery right now that has not been happening at all. It's a subject people are afraid to talk about. And now because of this movie, people aren't afraid to talk about it. People are talking about it. Somebody likes the movie, and they write a review on this, I mean, especially in a world right now where you actually have the internet, where actually anybody can actually now speak publicly, which was not the case before. So now somebody actually writes a review for the movie and they like it. Then you read the comment sections, and some people who don't like it attack them, you know, and say their saying.
Skateboarder's coming past. And it's gone again. Right, number 5.
The studio had organised a screening room so that I could take them along, you know, just me and them. And no, I got to say, I was pretty chuffed. I was pretty excited. And I sat them down and said, "Now, boys, tomorrow we're going to get to go to this screening event." And they were just over the moon. They were so excited, you know. And next day we got in the car, and they're kind of jet lagged and all that. You know, they get in the car, they're really excited, and they're pushing each other and fighting and all that. And I calm down, you know, we get to the theatre.
Number 6.
Absolutely, I would agree with that. I think perhaps it is. I've said from the start that we are not fearful. Be brave, be bold, try things. Don't be cowed in any way by the occasion. So if we can keep that going, I don't see any reason why we can not win this tournament. That's our aim, is to win this tournament.
Number 7.
A bit, you know, rebellious and had a kind of sexual history, and Byron seemed to be a good character. So we did 2 hours on Byron. We followed him all the way around the world. We went to Turkey, to Albania, and Greece, and Italy, and here in England we went, and it was very exciting.
he sort of shagged his way.
It's the first guy, not the second guy. Right, number 8.
To be honest, I think that the audiences in Britain were certainly more brutal. They have these live audiences, and it was a bit like a Roman amphitheatre when we went to Manchester and Cardiff and places. So I noticed that the audiences in America were more willing to want the contestants to succeed, which I think relates to the way that Americans treat fame and television generally, and they love it. You know, they want to be part of it, they want to embrace it.
Number 9.
Concerned about staying fit and staying healthy and living the fit and healthy life, because a lot of people, especially in the United States, are not healthy, and it hurts their heart and it affects their heart. So we are actually over the top. We never want to become unfit and unhealthy. So we're always trying to.
Never gonna let yourself go.
No, I don't want to. I mean, maybe a day, but never a week.
I would love to see you put on about 100 pounds.
Oh no, please don't wish that on me. No.
And the last question of the quiz, number 10.
But, I get in trouble for not playing bigger venues actually, because there is quite, people get pretty pissed off that I don't play bigger venues.
Because they can't get tickets again.
Yes, but I've been playing amphitheatres, which are outside and they're beautiful and you get to see the audience when you go on. But no, I mean, I'm not a massive fan of touring.
There you go. Does anybody need any of those again? Or they can have a good stab. So if you have an idea for a round that you would like to see for next time, and I'll keep this quiz going every Sunday whilst we're in lockdown, just drop a message through to Faye or leave a comment here, and I'll be sure to create something and build it into the next quiz. So we need 3, 4, 6, and 7. 3, 4, 6, and 7. Okay. So number 3.
Really. I mean, I like to drink. I like a drink.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not a big fan of drugs.
No.
They just don't suit me. I don't. It's, you know, in the handful of times that I've tried drugs, many years ago, I just didn't enjoy it.
So it was 3. Number 4.
Yeah, I'm talking about, there is actually a dialogue going on about slavery right now that has not been happening at all. It's a subject people are afraid to talk about. And now because of this movie, people aren't afraid to talk about it.
That's the shortened version. 6. And he should hold his head in shame if he doesn't get this one. Right.
Absolutely, I would agree with that. I think perhaps it is. I've said from the start that we are not fearful. Be brave, be bold, try things. Don't be cowed in any way by the occasion. So if we can keep that going, I don't see any reason why we can not win this tournament. That's our aim, is to win this tournament.
7 coming up.
A bit, rebellious and had a kind of sexual history, but Byron seemed to be a good character. So we did 2 hours on Byron. We followed him all the way around the world. We went to Turkey, to Albania, and
That one, and then the last one is number 1 again, and then we'll mark the rounds. Number 1.
Well, I don't know about that as much anymore, but certainly, I've been involved 32 years in Scientology, and it's given me all the tools to survive in life that I need, and it helped so many people. And we're
There we go. Okay. So the marking. So the first one of this section, bit of this, bit of that. Number 1, the musical, the song Big Spender comes from. That's Sweet Charity. The actress that sang Moon River in the film Breakfast at Tiffany's, Audrey Hepburn. Number 3, the smallest breed of pony is called a falabella. A falabella. Number 4, there are 2 bones in a horse's hoof. 2 bones. And number 5, Route 66 finishes in Santa Monica. It starts in Chicago. The answers to geography. Number 1, the Dutch East Indies became Indonesia back in the 1940s. In 1964, Northern Rhodesia became Zambia. Mumbai was called Bombay prior to 1995. British Honduras were renamed in 1973 to Belize. and Taiwan was previously called Formosa. Right, the advertising slogans. The slogan, "You can't fist fight tyranny," was promoting the National Rifle Association. The food outlet that uses the slogan "Eat Fresh" is Subway. The sporting brand that has the slogan "Forever Faster" is Puma. The company with the slogan "Don't leave home without it," that was American Express. And hopefully most people got this one. Vorsprung durch Technik is Audi. Yes, you do, John. Right, the audio famous people. Number one was John Travolta. He mentioned Scientology, that might have helped some of you. Number two, Kenneth Williams from the Carry On films and other things. Number three was Madonna. Number four, Quentin Tarantino. Number five, Russell Crowe. Number six was Roy Hodgson, Crystal Palace manager. Number seven, Rupert Everett. 8, Piers Morgan. 9, Serena Williams. And number 10 was Adele. So, top them up. How did everyone do? That last section is out of 25. I think 10, 25. Yes, no, 10. Yes, 25. 25 for the last block of 4. So that makes it 65 in total you could have had. Well, that's decent. Well, Catalina, what you need to do is you need to just give Faye some suggestions of topics you'd like. Perhaps around Romania. Travel around Romania. Maybe you'll get that and you'll get them all. Number 7, Rupert Everett.
31 out of 65.
That's all right. It's all good stuff. So, because it would be no quiz if everybody got all the answers right. Are people happy with the kind of Disney Channel? There you go.
Yeah.
See, I can definitely do something on the Disney Channel, so that'll get you tuning in next time. So put your suggestions in for rounds you'd like to see, and I'll be happy to do that. Thank you all for coming. Leave a thumbs up if you can. Yeah, I think I need more drink. Yeah.
Thanks.
Marvel. Yeah, we've already had a quest for Marvel, so I'm going to write these down. So we've got Marvel, Disney. Come on, write them in the comments. Marvel.
Oh, well done, Bob and Tom.
Disney. Fable pass several times we top up. I think that's what we should say. Just several times. The music round, there was too many rounds, I felt. So there is a round I've written, but I was going to save it for next time because I think we've done enough time really. That's about an hour. So
Simpsons.
So I could put that into cartoons, couldn't I? Simpsons, Family Guy, stuff like that, maybe.
Naughty. That was Joe. Is it Joe and Sean?
Sean, you shouldn't be writing stuff like that. It's a family quiz. Oh, I can't take you anywhere. Music, yeah, I can definitely do music. I have, as I say, I've got a music one written. You can all study on this because it's American hits, American music hits, 1950s to 2000. So do your homework. So, animals. No, I don't believe it, Sean. It's definitely you. It's the sort of thing you write. Thank you, everyone, for coming. It's much appreciated. And be safe. Love to you all. And we'll see you this time next week. Faye will share some messages anyway. So take care.
Bye.
Bye.